So good morning. My name is Carlos Moreira. I am the founder and CEO of WiseKey, a Swiss cybersecurity company. Today we are presenting a very special signing ceremony on which WiseKey, headquarters in Geneva, is in Goiás, a state in Brazil, in the process of creating a cryptographic root key which will be physically located in this place. The model, as people will know, people that have been working on cybersecurity, is what we call delegation of a trust. From a main root key in Switzerland, we are creating a secondary key which will be located in Goiás, and this key will be owned by a joint venture company that we have established with a Brazilian media company with the name Grupo Jaime Câmaras. So our objective is to localize our technology so this technology can be adapted to national and regional process. The target of this joint venture is to cover a market of over 600 million people that speak Spanish and Portuguese. This ecosystem now, as they are moving towards a transactional internet, they require a strong authentication. A digital ID is basically your digital passport. It's as you have a digital credential for a bank, we add a digital credentials which relates to the person itself. In the model of trust or WiseKey, the identity belongs to the person, not to the institution. Therefore, our target is to issue IDs to citizens in the region that with that ID will be able to transact on the internet securely. Latest issues on cybersecurity shows that the internet is actually a dangerous environment. People can hack data, people can compromise personal data, people can usurpate identities, people can penetrate systems. The only way of securing that is by dissociating the identity of the person with its behavior. In technical terms, we call that take away the PII, the personal identifiable information, who you are on your ID for what you do. My name, my address, where I live, all that data is always encrypted and never disclosed, but my behavior, whether I like soccer or I like golf, that behavior is made public through social media. So today in this room behind me, we're going to witness establishment, a celebration, what we call a signing ceremony to create the regional key. This key will later be stored physically in a bunker, and from that bunker, that key will be able to sign existing certifications authorities in the region and create an interoperable model on where identities in Brazil will be compatible with identities in any region, any countries in the region, and basically will create an ecosystem of 600 million people. On the top of that, the company, together with the knowledge of the Grupo Jaime Câmara, they will develop new business models on how those IDs can access the internet and do binding transactions. Transactions such as government transactions, transactions such as accessing media, downloading media, and being able through the ID on mobile phones to view that media, and anything which requires the use of mobile phones. So without saying more, I bring you to the next room, and you will see the signing ceremony. So now we are at the data security room on which the signing ceremony is taking place. So behind me, I have our experts. Then they are now in the process of validating that the process of generation of the certification authority that we are creating follows the audited process, which is required to be trusted. As we are delegating confidence, basically what we are doing is delegating confidence from the cryptographic root key, which is located in Switzerland, to the one that we are creating here in Brazil. The process of creating that key has to be properly audited. At any moment in the future, we should go back again to this process and show whoever will ask that this audit process has been fulfilled in accordingly to the legislation. PKI is the equivalent of a technology process of sending trust from one person to another, but in a mathematical way. So the group I have here, they are now issuing the key. This ceremony takes about 1 hour. Around the table, you have cryptographers, you have auditors, and you have a staff of WiseKey, which together they will put the process to get satisfied with the process of the signing ceremony. Now, once the key will be issued, we will be able to start immediately to use that key. For example, in the case of WiseKey, Liber here in Brazil, we have already signed a project which is going to be released this week in Rio de Janeiro with a very famous soccer team with the name Flamengo. Every single fan of the Flamengo will be authorized to download an application which includes a digital ID issued under the certification authority that we are creating here. So every single fan with that digital ID will be able to access the content of Flamengo, will be able to access videos online, play your social media, but in plus, their digital ID is stored either on their mobile phone or a smart card like this, will allow them to also do transactional over the internet. So now, I'm just going to show you how practical that will work. Mr. Blackman, Kevin Blackman, which is our CTO, has an Android phone with a technology inside that allows to recognize the digital ID which is located on that card. When I activate both the card and the phone, it basically recognizes my identity and opens an application which is a fans application that I can use to access Flamengo services. I can shop online, I can do access to the merchandising, I can do payments, I can access, like here, I am now accessing the merchandising. All the information required to authenticate me as a user is located on the chip ID, and that sends the information to the phone in a way that I can then, from there on, being able and buy the product and transact online. The same things will be done for government services, health services, education online. All basically services on the cloud requires a digital identification. That digital identification is being issued by the root key, which is generated in WISeKey Liber, which will be, as I mentioned before, located in Guayas here at the regional level with our target to reach out something like 600 million people in the region.